Okay. Okay.
They gotta do their shit too and put it.
Hell yeah! I fucking collaborated with them yesterday.
That was her thing, and she always shared you guys'
Okay.
Is my Jolly Rancher out the screen right there?
Why'd you
Yeah.
What happened?
Yes.
I just don't want to because I don't on that on the phone,
so
on the microphone.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, you were doing it. Oh shit!
We out.
All right, peace.
I'm scared.
What's up, Magz?
What's up? Is it? That's it.
Yeah. What's up, family, friends, and loved ones, and listeners? Want to get right into it?
Right
First of all, how was your weekend, dog?
It was chill.
Did you go spar anyway by any chance?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe in this place called how would you pronounce it?
I just call it Tijuana in the hood, dog. Because the gym, Phoenix. It's not known for having nobody, but it's a dungeon.
Yeah. Would you call it perhaps TJ?
Tijuana. And that place is off the hook. We had fun. I think we did like 28 rounds total of sparring.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
We had bodies on the floor, 2 bodies in the ring, boxers' bodies on the side. All right.
It was good work, though. It was great work.
Then we had Diego Luna. We had Javin Cholet, Jose Cholet, Brian Figueroa. And I feel bad, but we had like 3 other studs from Tijuana that I don't know their names.
Yeah.
And they were good work. Everybody was like, all the lightweights were like 6 foot.
For real. And shout out to Diego Luna, who's I think they're probably gonna close camp this week.
This is last week. Him and Coach Edgar. Edgar.
They're gonna be fighting February 8th locally, so he's a really good.
At that No Boxing
really
No
good.
Life in San Diego. I think it's Saturday,
February 8th.
February 8th. I try to put the poster on there for you guys can see it. Come support those local guys and that are fighting, that are making their jump in their career.
Absolutely.
And to the fight that I want to talk about. Pacheco versus Steven Melton. This fight was so hard for me to pick. And I already said why. Watching it, the thing that I liked the most about it was after the fight was over, Magz, I had never seen that where he goes and compliments the fighter that he lost to. And we know Magz cool. He's talked to us, right. We're a cool dude, man. And he just was saying, he was complimenting Pacheco. And I seen Jose Benavidez a little bit, like he was kind of confused maybe. He didn't know if he was complimenting him or he was expecting something coming out like negative. But it was handled beautifully. That's the kind of shit I like to see in boxing. Fighters complimenting each other, no matter, you're the better man, you got it. Anything could happen in this shit, man. And just to see Magz be the bigger boy and go out there and give these guys props is cool, man. And I hope that you see that a lot more in the fight game. Understandably so, because I think they had a pretty harsh rivalry when his son, Jose Benavidez Jr., fought Terrence Crawford. That's right. So I forgot about that. Yes, that's a great point. That's maybe why he was so defensive. Yeah, he was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? But, I think Magz was genuinely curious about, like, what was he, because he asked him, what was your game plan? Like, what was your game plan for us? Because I'm sure they really wanted to put the pressure on him, right, and make him work. And I don't think that Pacheco necessarily surprised them. I just think they were truly impressed, from how he handled that fight and that pressure. Could they be impressed because they feel like every fighter they have is Crawford? Or could it be great because if question. You're impressed, I mean, fighting is fighting. You can lose any fight, Right. It's like, it's about adjustments, but they probably thought Pacheco was a young guy. They can get to him with pressure because it looked like Nelson was coming after him. He was in the beginning. Coach Bashir said, he was busier. But Pacheco just kept that range, and kept working and kept shooting. And you can see, I finally watched it. I couldn't watch it when it was going on. But yeah. I seen him breaking away, like you said. Yeah. You described it perfectly. He's taking the later rounds. He just, and in the beginning rounds, Nelson was getting credit for the rounds, but he wasn't cutting the gas lines. He wasn't doing nothing. He was trying. He was winning them, maybe 2 or 3 of them, but he wasn't doing something to have success at the back half of the fight. Right. And that's something that the commentators, I was listening to them, they're like, oh, they were kind of like a little bit in Nelson's favor, and understandably, right, because he was busier. However, I'm like, dude, this is just the 4th round. This is a 12-round fight. You know what I mean? I think that their strategy is gonna pay off in a couple rounds, and sure,
What was that fucking saying? Oh, I fucking had a brain fart right now.
Fart,
Slowly but surely.
Because I grabbed the phone.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. I just want to make sure I give the right props to the right person, and I want to grab my phone because I got a message this week.
Message.
And
slowly but surely, after the 4th, Pacheco started to have that success, man.
Yeah.
But
here it is.
Shout out.
Okay, I got it. Just want to make sure I don't give. But anyways, watching that Pacheco do what he did in that fight at such a young age, so much pressure, and Nelson had pressure too, and he was doing what he had to do in my book, but he just wasn't doing enough of it.
Yeah,
he was doing it too much on the outside. On the back half of the fight, it was a little too late. Maybe he should have took a risk and invested. But also the cut freaks you out. Sometimes the tone of the corner. He's always been a real confident guy in the corner. And I saw it when he was in the corner, he didn't look confident.
Yeah.
He looked like the tone in the corner changed. So he was like, am I fucking up? And
right.
I don't know. I'm just speaking from the outside, my perspective. You know, I'm just like, because I've seen his fights and he's always confident. And he didn't look confident after like the third or fourth round on.
Yeah.
And then he got cut. It was over. Like,
yeah. By a nice right hand.
Yeah.
I was confused when I think it was Sean Porter who said that that one of those commentators. I
heard it in Spanish, so I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. They were saying that Pacheco normally isn't good at using his range. I was like, what do you mean? He drops that right hand beautifully right at the end of the shot, you know? So
and Pacheco's team, they did the homework.
Yeah.
They knew what they're facing.
Absolutely. They did good. But this was a high stakes fight up to this point in both of their careers. And man, hats off. That 12th round was it was a fucking barn burner, that 12th round. Both of them were just fucking, going at it, giving it their all. So it was fun to watch.
Someone that I know.
Yeah.
That you know, but I'm not gonna say their name, told me that in their opinion, Steven Nelson's worst mistake was following Crawford. He got an offer to sign with Top Rank. He didn't sign with them. They could have built his career.
Right.
But he was always fighting off of Crawford.
Yeah.
Bouts. And he couldn't fight a kid like Pacheco's caliber without having fights. He hasn't fought in a long time.
Right.
So his timing, rhythm, everything was way behind, Right. And is it good to follow? Like, if you have somebody like Benavidez or Canelo or the top 10 fighters in the world.
Right.
Do you shadow them as a fighter and fight under undercards? Or do you make a move and go on your own?
Move.
I hope, because Nelson wasn't staying busy enough. And I understand his age, but he needed to keep fighting a little more, at least 3 times per year.
I agree 100% with you. I think that's the number one, not the number one, but one of the biggest enemies of fighters, inactivity, Inactivity. And put the timing and shit aside. It's just going through the motions of a fight, the ups and downs of leading up to the fight and shit like that, when you kind of forget what that's like.
Yeah.
I
just feel like that's too much time between fights to fight somebody like Pacheco. And Pacheco's been a little busier,
for sure.
In his short professional career. I think they fought about the same time. Pacheco has way more fights.
But yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a young kid. I forget how young he is.
They both try to do the last Olympics.
Oh, okay.
Together, but one in the United States and one in Mexico.
Right. That was a good fight, though. Good fight.
One of my big homies who I respect a lot, referee Ray Corona, aka Popeye. I follow his podcast and I seen that Jack Reiss is retiring. So I have a profound, I don't know if that's the right word, love for referees, because as a kid, I knew my family boxed, but I also knew I had a family that was referees.
Right.
So I've always been intrigued by the third man in the ring. To me, it's so personal because when you're about to go into battle,
right,
he comes and talks to you.
Right.
And he brings you a little bit of security, I'm going to be watching both you guys. So our referees are different. You've heard them all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give different instructions, and they all have a different vibe and different energy. Jack Reiss, I've had him in the numerous fights, big fights, because he does all of them, but he's done a lot of big fights with us, and he's a class act, man. He makes you feel. I've been with him on the A side, on the B side, and he's treated us the same on both sides. Mm-hmm. He makes you feel protected. He makes you feel like he's in there watching. And since I've had family who are referees, I've always asked them, like, what are you looking for? What are you seeing in there? And they gave me a perspective, like they see the fight like nobody else will ever will. They're right then, and they can hear they can hear the sound of leather hitting skin, and the guys giving the release on the punches, taking the punches, and Jack Reiss is a good one, man, and him leaving the sport, we're gonna miss him.
Absolutely, they see and hear what we don't even see and hear. We only get one angle. They get fucking front row, right? Then even better. You know what I'm saying? Some of the most referees sometimes don't get the credit they deserve, man. Like that, they just get looked at like he disrupted the fight. He got in too fast, or they're always going to get nitpicked. It's unfortunate. It's like a business where they only get seen when they fuck up. Yeah, yeah, man. It's a tough job. It's not easy.
But
you gotta be on.
Referees, man. Like I don't share this much. I mean, I brought it up before, but the reason I love referees because Joe Cortez's family, Michael Ortega, my cousin, is a referee, and he was forever in Connecticut. Now he's in Nevada. One time we had a fight. Remember, you were with me, I think, in Vegas when we fought.
Yeah, with Toey.
Yeah, Toey, and I forgot who we were fighting.
Carlos
Valderas, and my cousin Michael, who was barely trying to set his boots in Nevada, realized that we were going against. He was going to referee our fight. When he saw me in the locker room, he was like, "Hey, Joe."
Yeah.
And he tells me, "Hey, I got to go tell the head of officials that you're my cousin." Mm-hmm. And I was going to tell him, "Don't say shit. They don't even know. Like, we have different last names. Who cares?" Like,
yeah.
But he's by the book.
Yeah.
And that's what I respect so much about referees. They don't get that love. Jack Reiss, Thomas Taylor, Ray Corona. And I could go on and on, man. There's so many. Mills Lane, Richard Steele, whatever. There are some good ass referees out there, man.
Absolutely. I grew up, and my pops, he's always watched since I can remember, been watching boxing. And he even knew, like, oh, okay, guys, like 20 Weeks, Kenny Bayless. Oh, this is a big fight. He got a good referee, and old school fights and shit like that. So he was a big fan of Joe Cortez too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not I'm not naive to refereeing. I love them. I've been around them. Sometimes I don't like the decisions that are made, but at the end of the day, they're in there. You know, sometimes I'm like, damn, but hey, that's their job.
Yeah.
They get trained. We get trained. We train. It's to each their own. Though, Jack Reiss, we're gonna miss you in the sport, and you left a good legacy of referees out there because I know your tutelage and your experience teaching these guys and showing them the ropes is going to be huge. And people like Ray Corona's not even a new guy. He's been around for a while, but all those guys will be teaching things that you taught them, and
shout out to Dave Sullivan too, man.
Dave, the homie from San Diego, watching him referee. He comes to the gym sometimes and referees with us. So them referees out there, man.
Chris Lieben, who just got
so here's Chris Lieben is that fool got a soft spot in my heart because I got to corner him for his last fight and work with him and spar him and train him and run with him and watching him referee and judge.
Yep.
Oh man, that's euphoric for me, man. It's like I can't even put it into words. So
we were there for his first night referee.
But he had a tough fight.
He had a tough fight. That was a tough one.
Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, guys,
welcome.
Mad love for Jack Reiss. I mean, right off into the sunset. I'm sure you'll still be at the fights, officiating or whatever.
Pat Russell.
Yeah. Pat Russell. Pat Russell was a referee who was working when he's been forever. When I used to fight amateur, he used to come and practice with me.
Yeah.
And he'd come in there, and Pat Russell, I still see him officiating, you know? Oh, man. Yeah. See, referees and boxers are like they go hand in hand.
Yeah. Shout out to
judges. I don't know about, but I'm playing. You gotta be cool with the judges because they're not.
For real. Influential.
But yeah. So that being said, did you see that video of Robert Garcia with Rubalcaba?
Oh man, that that video resonated with me a lot because I 100% understand his frustration.
Hey, you're fucking lucky you got pointed out there. No fucking excuses. No, Captain Sick or whatever you fucking told me today. Sure said something Monday or Tuesday. Too fucking late. Now you're fucking fighting. Now you're fucking fighting and getting your ass kicked by this guy that shouldn't be fucking beating you up. La neta, Leo. Go fucking do something this fucking round. You gotta drop him again or something. So it could be 3 fucking points. De caída, de ponte y de caída. If not, you can fucking lose in this fucking fight. Come on. Well, you know you're better than this shit. Come on.
And, you know, I've seen a lot of fights, obviously, Robert. He's like, every fucking function, Robert's probably going to be there. And you're going to see him in the corner. I not too long ago, recently started paying attention to the corners and shit. And that was the first time. I don't know about you because you've been in the game for a while, you know, and you've seen him and you know him. That was the first time I see that frustration come out of him like that. And I understood him 100%, you know, when the fighter's just not responding, not doing, you know, what you're telling them, and they're like looking at you saying yes, it's fucking frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I've said things in the corner where I get criticized, and I've said things in the corner where I get like, oh, wow, that was good what he said.
Yeah.
Every fighter's different. Every fighter gets talked to different depending on the situation, but
right.
I think when Robert wasn't letting him make an excuse for himself,
mm-hmm.
and Robert said something like, you should have told me this on Monday or Tuesday, you know, like now we're in the fucking fight.
We're here now, motherfucker.
So you gotta, and that's why fighters get mad when we yell at them, like, I don't want no excuses, because the day of the fight happens, everybody's gonna make an excuse. As soon as the bell rings and you get hit, like, fuck.
Yeah.
That self-doubt kicks in.
Yeah.
This guy's strong.
Yeah.
This guy knows what I'm doing. This guy's too fast.
Yeah.
I can't hit this motherfucker. So all that self-talk.
It's there.
So when you get to the corner and be like, man, I wasn't feeling good on Monday. Who gives a fuck? It's too late now, dog.
I always remember, I love the story you tell about Cece when you were in the corner with him. When you yelled at him. But he responded. He did what he had to do, right?
But he told me after, don't ever yell at me like that again. I just looked at his belt. Yeah, okay. You know, he won a strap, a WBC, one of those WBC belts. Mm-hmm. He got it, Continental, I think it was, and he fought a tough guy. And he took it personal, but it was not personal. It's like me and Coach Bashir were talking about fighters think that it's personal when we yell at them.
Yeah.
It's never personal, bro. It's never personal. It's like we don't want to lose as much as you don't want to lose.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you take it personal, you're in the wrong gym. You're in the wrong business.
You're in the wrong business for sure. Yeah. You're not going to hear, you know, a lot of the shit that's said, it's not what you want to hear, but it is what you need to hear, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
So what do you feel like? I know that you've been in the corner when we're giving instructions. People don't realize that some of those things are on like, when Robert was asked that question, it's just an answer right then and there. It's the most organic answer you can get, the most real you're going to get.
Yeah.
And people think that we're in the corner sitting down thinking what we're going to say. When we sit down, we might think of what we want to say, but we have like 35 seconds to say something.
Yeah.
Because we have to sit them down, drop some water on them, make them breathe. And then once we slow the breathing down and then we give them instructions.
Yeah.
As a coach, you start knowing your fighters when they come to the corner by the body language, by the way they'll look at you, the way they'll talk to you. They're not responsive. Mm-hmm. So it's a hard job. You guys should try it one day before you criticize the coach.
For real, man. It's 3 minutes of you have to pay attention what the fuck is going on. There's a lot going on in 3 minutes, you know. So sometimes you don't even get everything that you wanted to get across.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, and then there's a fucking adrenaline, you know, there's all that shit. You learn to control it, you know, you gain your experience. But
exactly.
Yeah.
So let's do some predictions. I'll let you start first.
Which one do you want to start with? All right.
Angel Fierro, a.k.a. Tashiro.
Tashiro Fierro against
or Pitbull. Isaac Cruz, a.k.a. the Pitbull.
Pitbull.
I'll wait.
I'm going for Tashiro. I'm going for Tashiro. I hope he wins. I know. What is that your pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, bud.
I'm going for the upset. The casual fans know Pitbull.
Yeah.
And they don't know Tashiro. But I cornered Tashiro when he fought, and he had a torn ligament in his ankle, and he finished the fight. He didn't win, but just finishing the fight with a torn ligament in his ankle.
It was like the second or fourth round or some shit like that, right? The majority of the fight.
Mad respect for that kid. Yeah. And he's going to find a way. The Pitbull is a style that he does not, it's not a style that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
So He just got to weather the storm, punching between those combos. And Fernando Fernandez is a great coach. And I'm sure they'll make the right adjustments. Plus, Fernando Fernandez has a little chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
They just lost Munguia.
Yeah.
He wants to show he's a fucking good coach.
Absolutely.
He wants to show. So they're going to show what's up, you know? Fernando Fernandez is like one of the underrated coaches, man, because Eric Morales, I think it goes on and on. Munguia, you know, Tashiro Fierro, and all these kids out of Tijuana.
Tiburon. He's a great fighter, too.
All these guys that he's worked with, man, like, you know, Fernando Fernandez, mis respetos para él. He's a really good coach.
Absolutely. I'm super excited for them. That's a huge fight. When I heard that he was going to fight Pitbull, I was like, fuck yeah, that's a great opportunity, you know? And what a fucking card to showcase that. Benavidez against Morel, a huge fight, in my opinion, in the light heavyweight division. I think they're going to spice that fucking division up because right now it's not dead. It's kind of like, you know, lacking a little bit of excitement. So I'm really looking
forward
to
some salsa. So
yeah,
you know, having two Latinos in that weight division, you know, mi cubano, Morel, and Benavidez, the Mexican monster.
Yeah.
Is going to be exciting. I personally think that it's going to be a hard fight.
Yeah.
But I think Benavidez is going to win by knockout.
Man, I wanted to bet you, but it's not happening because I think Benavidez is going to win too. I think he's going to
I'm not going against the grain because I don't want $1. So I'm just going to keep my
it's crispy,
I'm going to go with Benavidez. I know you got the crispiest of dollars. But
I'm ready.
I think I'm going to stick to Benavidez as well.
Yeah, I got Benavidez.
He has a lot to he doesn't have nothing to prove. He wants to show how great he is, and he's taking on these. Morel's a fucking dangerous fighter.
Yeah.
He has a little bit of fights, and this is the time to jump on him.
Yep.
Because if you wait a little longer, he's going to get better and better.
Oh, it's a perfect time for that fight, man. That's one of those fights that if you wait a little too long, it's going to become fucking, you know, like Mayweather, Pacquiao type shit. No, I'm so excited for this because very rarely nowadays do you see that when two fighters are going to go up against each other when they probably fucking should, you know. And
then they fight the winner of Bivol and Berdabiev. That's exciting.
Huge. So I, in my opinion, I think it's gonna be David Benavidez. I think that he's just got a little more than Morel. I'm not just talking about skill wise. I'm talking about all around. He's a kid who's looking to be great, not just a champion. He's looking to fucking put a stamp on the sport. And the winner of that against better be a Bivol, who is coming up, you know, later on this month in February. Fuck, that's
so all
huge.
you little kids that are green and out of shape and are not the best kids in the gym. That's how Benavidez was when he was in the gym.
That is a huge example right there, man.
He was out of shape and he wasn't a great amateur. And right now he's arguably one of the best fighters in the world.
That's one of, you know what? That's one of the things that I picked up from their like little build up for the fight is Morel was saying like, you know, he ain't really been through shit. You know, I've been through shit. Like when it's like struggling for food. But Benavidez went through his own struggle and you can't dismiss that. You know, if you look at a video, he's like unrecognizable. You don't even realize that's him.
That's him, yeah.
For real. So, and you know, he been through some shit early on in his career, and I think that in itself also is an example for others. Hey, he fucked up, and he's still trying to he's still there.
Yeah,
trying to be great. So I'm very much looking forward to that. That's awesome.
I want to touch on another fighter real quick, who was the little stud in the amateurs. Tito Mercado.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just bring it up real quick. He fought on the undercard of this last fight.
Yeah, Pacheco.
Yeah. And he fought Pedraza. Right?
It was a big fight, too.
Yeah, big fight. But after the fight, or before the fight, he was calling out Shakur and somebody else. Oh, Keyshawn.
Probably Keyshawn. Keyshawn was there.
Because he says, I'll fight you or your dad right here. And he's talking at
Andy
Cruz. And somebody commented that they were talking shit about Mercado. You're nobody. You ain't there yet. And I'm like, if you look at his box rec, he's fought some good people.
Yeah.
Okay. But somebody put on the comment, closed mouths don't get fed.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to make himself be known.
Yeah.
You know, and he beat Pedraza, knocked him out. And he's calling out people that nobody calls out. He's calling out Shakur.
The big dogs.
He's calling out Keyshawn Davis.
Yeah.
I'd rather fight Keyshawn Davis first, then Shakur, because that's a little bit difficult puzzle to resolve.
Right.
But he has the tools He's strong. He's young. He comes down. The only thing I'm not gonna badmouth him. He's great. He's a good kid, and I like to see guys like that who call out the big names. And he's not calling out no older guy, no washed up fighter. He's fighting who they put in front of him, you know. And he just signed with Matchroom, so we'll see what happens with him. I think Shakur's with Matchroom.
I think he is now. Yeah,
so that's gonna be if they can make that fight happen.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Seeing a kid from Southern California, Tito Mercado.
Hell yeah, that'd be fucking dope. Put himself on the map, and you know, anybody who says shit like that, they act like they weren't coming up in the sport too. And yeah, those two were Olympians and shit. You know what I'm saying? But when a motherfucker says, "Oh, you ain't nobody, you ain't shit, you haven't done nothing," use that shit as fuel. You know, because that would only fire me up. All right, cool. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
one more thing, really quick. I was just thinking about my cousin Ernesto, Ernie, big Ernie. He was telling me he suggested that we talk about fighters with their finances.
Yeah,
it was a touchy subject. I was like, yeah. But the more I thought about it, it's like fighters are already untrustworthy.
Yeah,
when it comes to money.
Yeah,
like I don't tell them what to do with their money because I'm just their coach. I'm not their financial advisor.
Yeah.
But I am going to tell young fighters, when you're barely starting this career in boxing and you're only getting paid $1,200 to $1,600, whatever. And every fight, I've seen fighters spend about $800 to $1,000 in an outfit.
Yeah.
And they wear a different outfit for every fight. They only take home after they pay me.
Yep. And sometimes they're not even televised, these fights. So you don't
you left that part out. If I was paying $1,000 for a suit, I'd wear that shit for like 6-7 fights.
Hell yeah.
Gives a fuck.
Yeah.
And then you frame that suit and you 1 through 7.
Yeah.
And then you get another suit.
Yeah.
You know, 2-3 fights.
Yep.
But these kids want to look like they're rich before they even made a penny.
Yep.
Young men that invest that $1,000 in something else, invest
fucking sparring gear,
all that fucking wear the best clothing, like stupid dog. Just go out there and fight. Nobody's gonna remember your suit when you fight.
Yeah, man.
They remember how you fight. Exactly. Nobody. Did you see those shorts what he won with? Nobody gives a shit about what you're wearing.
Nah. A lot of times you see the sponsors on there. Sometimes, you know, they look at it. Sometimes once you get to Canelo, like that stage, Benavides, all these guys.
But they all have the same sponsors. Yeah. They have the same sponsors.
Yeah.
And nobody ever says, do you see those shorts Ali was wearing that day he won the fight? Or nobody cares about what you're wearing. Just go out there and perform. As long as it's comfortable.
I think Ali wore the same shit all the time. Fucking white shorts.
Oh, back then they all wore the same shit because it wasn't a thing for them to be flamboyant what you wear. It's flamboyant. Mike Tyson had the best outfit. A towel, shoes with no socks, and fucking in his trunks.
Yep. Straight to it.
And I mean, he retired butt naked.
That shit was hilarious, dude. Oh man.
Anything else?
I just real quick on another fight that got made just recently. Rolly against Ryan. I guess it was supposed to be Pitbull because that's what we spoke on last time. It was supposed to be Pitbull, but
we found out about it when we got to the gym.
Yeah, literally the same day. We're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" We just talked about this, but I saw a brief interview with Pitbull saying like, "Yo, they were trying to fucking, you know, they're pressing me. I have a fight booked with Angel Fierro. You know, that's like low-key disrespect."
That's what we thought. That's what we talked about.
Yeah, we were like, "Yo, how like that's weird. That's weird. How does that even work? You know, you already have a fight booked, and now you have another fight booked. So, it makes sense." And I think Brody against Ryan makes sense too.
Yeah,
that's a good fight. Those are again, we're talking about Morel and Benavides, guys that are facing each other when they fucking should face each other. You know, Rolly's coming off of a fucking. I think his last fight was against Pitbull, right?
Yeah,
that's a tough loss. So big ups to him for taking. Obviously, it's gonna make money. You know what I'm saying? But Ryan is not an easy fucking fight. However, I think he's gonna come after him for sure because what's left for him after that if he loses against Ryan?
Right off into the sunset.
Yeah, with that big check, I'll fucking go. I don't know, MMA and do some judo or some shit. Who knows?
Oh, he might go into MMA. Oh, bare knuckle. Everybody goes to bare knuckle when they're gonna go lie down and that's
retiring.
It. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good fight.
I wouldn't. If you make $7 million in boxing in your whole career, why go fight bare knuckle, dog?
That's fucking. I've not had the opportunity to be at one of those events.
Well, you will soon.
Yeah, and that shit looks crazy. From what I understand, you've cornered a few. That's to hear you say like I don't even ever want to see that shit.
I've been in a lot of street fights.
And you've been in a lot of street fights. That says a lot, you know. So yeah, I kind of in a weird way I look forward to
There's
it,
a
though.
reason they invented gloves. That's how we started. Now we went backwards.
Yeah.
But women's boxing now.
Oh yeah, shout out to women's boxing, man. You guys follow the podcast. Go ahead and give them a follow too. They're growing a lot. So don't forget their show May 17th in 2025. TBD on the location. As soon as we know, we'll shout that out for sure.
You guys don't even have the fucking location yet? You already fucking plugging up the fights?
Fuck, man.
Do it at the gym.
Yeah. For real, you got to ring.
Get Ducky to work.
Yeah, Ducky.
Get
some work done.
Hey, right, family and friends, please like, share, subscribe.
All that good stuff.
Any things you guys want us to talk about, we do read them because we ain't got shit to do.
Yeah, so we have, suggestions from, our, family, friends and stuff that we like to talk about. And they bring up a lot of good stuff. So thank you. And yeah, keep it coming for sure.
That's it.
Yeah.
We out.
Peace.
This has been a Point and Yell production. Yeah, I think the words, but sometimes they don't come out of my mouth no good.